Father, we come to you just in thankfulness. We thank you for allowing us to get here today, giving us cars to drive, giving us just the manner to get here today, the mind to be here today. Father, in this moment, I ask for your peace to overwhelm Justin and I and even Taylor behind the camera. And I ask for your peace to overwhelm the people that are watching this episode. We thank you. We invite your presence in now in Jesus' name. And we thank you and we love you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
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 I talked to God, told him flip it 180. The acrobatics that I witnessed was simply amazing. Cause my efforts been laid, death all around me, but I will fear no evil. I live backwards to heal my people and break the mold. It's crazy how impressions from life can leave you this flow.
Welcome back to the Beyond Boundaries podcast, where two men talk about things that most people shy away from. I'm your co-host, Justin Penny.
What up, y'all? Aaron Anderson here.
How you doing, bro?
Man, to be honest with you, today has been a day. Like,
Has it?
and it was a night last night, and then it turned into today being a day.
Where you want to start?
Man, so today, Justin and I are getting on here, and we're having just real conversation.
Yeah.
Talking about how we're doing, talking about how we're feeling, and I didn't know today was going to happen the way that it did, right?
God had a plan, didn't he?
I had no
idea.
idea.
I'm gonna give you something to
I'm
talk
gonna give
about.
you something to talk about. Yeah. But I had a lot of things to do today, and it kind of like derailed my thought process to like even come record the podcast.
You wasn't
right?
feeling it?
I was like, man, today, like I might have to text Justin and be like,
I kind of got that vibe, bro, because we talk a lot. So like, I hadn't heard from you.
Yeah.
And then normally you beat me here.
I do. I'm the first
like
one
you're
here.
like 20 minutes early most of the time.
Just walk through the door.
Just walk through the door. Like I'm here. I'm like, where's Aaron at?
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt that energy for
like,
sure.
So the kids are out of school, right?
Yeah.
So the 5-year-old twins, Ivy and Iverson, they're out of school. Jonah's out of school, and all three of them are with us right now. And it's just like that right there in
Dad
itself.
duties.
It's just like I've been playing, the dad role all day, and having to text parents about teams and all kind of stuff. But then before I came here, I got a little like button that I can push on my keys to start the car, and I pushed it, and the car just didn't start. It went, and it was like, nah.
That's not funny.
And
That's not funny.
the
sound
crazy.
effect was funny.
It didn't start, bro, and I was upset, and I went out to the car and I tried to I put the key in because it has a key that goes in, and I tried to turn it and it just started ticking. And I know what the problem is, but it was just like, bro, right now, like there's a lot going on. These kids is running around. I have to train. I have to do this. I got to do that. My mind's in every single place, and
something's got to go. Something's got to go. Like,
man, bro, and the car didn't start, bro. And I'm here on the merit of my wife's car, which I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Just before that situation, though, my son had just got over. Jonah had just came over, my 11-year-old, and I was because he was upset. He came over and forgot his remote controller to his PlayStation. And I saw the look on his face. And I pulled him to the side. I was like, hey, man, you got to cheer up. Can't be led by your emotions.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. Gave him the whole spiel. Like, cheer. Like, it's okay. We'll go get it later.
The dad talks.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it later. And, like, something happened to me. And God was like,
look, take your own advice.
Yeah, literally take your own. He was like, it's okay. We'll worry about it later. You can still get to your podcast. You can still, like, my son in that moment, he could still be on the TV. He could still be on his laptop. He just couldn't get on his game, and it hindered his thought process. His emotions made him sit there and sulk, and that's exactly what I saw myself doing as soon as the car didn't start. And I was like, I gotta take my own advice, right? And it sucked, bro. But what about you, man? Like today, and really like just like the past week, bro. Like how are you doing, bro?
Life's been crazy, bro.
Yeah,
life's been busy. A lot of traveling, a lot of trying to understand, or not even trying to understand, but trying to understand what I should understand.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I get you, yeah.
Because sometimes you need to understand what you're doing and where you're trying to go, but then sometimes it's not for you to understand, and you need to just be in the now.
You just be there.
Yeah. So that's kind of been, I'm trying to, work out this new life that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess to say welcome to being a grown man, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm traveling a lot. I'm also trying to, you know, lead in my relationship. I'm also trying to lead in my friendships, you know, lead in the church, trying to just a lot on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot on my plate. And I think I saw something
you.
on Instagram, and you probably heard this too, but I don't know if I'm saying it verbatim, but it was basically like, why are you complaining about having so much on your plate when your ultimate goal was to eat?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, bro, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to have the opportunities that I have, that we have.
Yeah.
You know, so trying to keep that in perspective, but try not to allow the busy season to overcome me too. Because sometimes you can get so busy that you forget your why, or you forget to be, because busy doesn't mean productive.
Yeah.
Right? Just go, 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 go. I think we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
You know, trying to make sure everything I'm doing, you know, is for the goodness of God, is for, you know, to spread the word, to be a leader, to be a man of everything that I represent. And
exactly. Yeah.
if you ain't intentional,
Yeah.
my natural self gonna start to
And even like getting like spread too thin, bro.
that too.
That's something that even in the world today, like Christians will get spread too thin because they have so much on their plate, because they, you know, faith without works is dead. And we take that works
Faith
to like
without
the
works
next,
is dead.
to the next. Like I'm gonna work my butt off so that the Lord knows that I'm not lazy, right? And we don't take into account that we have to rest. Like even the Lord rested, even Jesus rested.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, bro, because you hear a lot of faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
But you also hear let go and let God.
Yeah. At what point?
So where's the middle ground? You know, and that's a question I've asked myself. That's a question that people have asked me when I'm like, trust God, right?
Yeah.
But then like, well, the Bible also says faith without works is dead. Like, what is a middle ground for something like that? Because it's kind of confusing.
No, I get you. The middle ground is found in His presence, one, but also like it's okay for us to not be okay as a Christian man or woman, whoever we are, and experience these, even as a person, to experience these emotions.
Yeah.
And it's okay to identify them and voice how you feel, but it's not okay to come into agreement with them. Like, I'm so upset right now. I could say that to you, like, Justin, man, I'm upset because my car didn't start.
Yeah.
And I know I have so many things to do, and so does my wife. So, like, right now, for the next couple of days, we might only have one car.
Right.
And I could come into agreement with, I'm upset, and this whole upsetness can ricochet to areas in my life. Like, I have a practice to coach in a couple hours. So those kids going to get the brunt of me being upset because I came into agreement with it. Or am I going to say, you know what, I don't feel the best right now, and I understand that, but I'm not going to let this conquer my mind to a point to where it's taking like my joy, my peace. Like, before I stepped in here, I'm praying to the Lord, like, Lord, whatever is going on right now, I'm not going to let it take my joy and my peace away from what I'm about to say on this podcast. I'm honored to be here. And like putting gratitude in that place of like upsetness.
Right, not going to practice making boys run suicide just because you had a bad day.
Now, I'm gonna be on tip. I'm gonna be on tip in practice though. Like, that's just period. But it doesn't need to go overboard because of what happened to me. And like that's tough, bro. Because like, let go and let God. Or faith without works is dead. Like, you're asking like, where is that middle ground found at?
Well, in like achievements too, or goals that you may set forth for yourself. Like you specifically, your goal might be, one day I want to coach in the NBA. Just an example.
Facts, yeah.
You know, one day I want to be a coach in the NBA. And you're doing everything. You know, you're training NBA players. You know, you're training Division I athletes. You're coaching AAU teams. You're doing everything right? But you may not see anything that's leading to that.
Yep.
So naturally, us as men, we're like, I got to go harder. I need to get more clients. I need to post more content. I need to network more.
Naturally, yes.
Naturally, that's what you're thinking. And that may also not be wrong either, because you have to be able to put in that extra work to get there. But then you hear let go and let God. So then I feel I can see, like for me personally, people tell me that and it's like, okay, but I also can't just sit around and do nothing.
Like, I can't do nothing. And that's really hard, because it's just the way that we have been wired in the culture today tells us that we can never sit around and do nothing.
Exactly.
If you look at the week, how it's built, there's 7 days in the week. We have to have a day where we don't do anything. We have to have set apart time where we can sit and rest. There's a difference between going to sleep and resting. Like, people look at sleep as rest.
Yeah. Like, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'll sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep, and that's me resting.
Yeah.
Like, no. You are unconscious when you sleep. You're not sitting here thinking about anything. Your mind's not going. You're not worried about this, and this. But when you're resting, you're conscious. This is a conscious rest. Like, I'm gonna take the time to be awake and not do anything. I'm going to take that time because this is the time that I need to refocus myself and kind of align myself with what God is even saying. Like, what is he even, if I can't do that, how am I going to hear him?
Yeah.
If I can't slow down enough to be like, all right, I need to take a deep breath. I need to understand that I'm going so much and my schedule's so full that I have no time to actually give to him for him to even speak if he wanted to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's hard to find that balance, and everybody's looks different. Like, yours is different than a lot of people's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I agree that a rest day is important.
Yeah.
But some weeks, that's tough.
It is.
Because what is that? Okay, most people work 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
They're 9 to 5 or whatever their day job is. They're working 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
If they're responsible adults, 9 times out of 10, they may be parents, like yourself.
Yeah.
They may be married, like yourself.
Yeah.
And there's days when you're not working that you have to do your other job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might have to take your kids to practice. You may have to take your kids to see that movie. You and wife need a date night.
Yeah.
Even when you may not necessarily feel it.
Yep.
So for me, it's a rest day is how can you. Is it a rest period? Like from 9 to 2, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. I get exactly what you're saying.
Because sometimes it's really, and I'm not saying that could be for anybody that's listening to this podcast. Yeah. They could be like, there's no way I can just go a day.
An entire day.
Without doing
anything.
Some people would love to do
Justin, that. I'm a victim of that right there, what you just said. Not victim. Let me change my wording. I can relate to what you just said. Because I put aside time. When it comes to a complete day, I'm just sitting there. I think I did that maybe like 3 weeks ago one time, and it was just the most uncomfortable thing in the world because there were so many things on my plate that I had to accomplish. But I was just running myself into the ground.
Because when you're resting, you're thinking about, okay, I need to take the trash out. I need to do the dishes. Oh yeah, I didn't make that playbook. Oh yeah, I need to go do that. Oh, I forgot. I gotta go get gas. Like,
call this person.
I gotta call that. Oh, I ain't called that person back.
Yeah, it's a lot, bro. There's a lot going on, especially even like with your type of job that you have.
Yeah,
like you have to be on. You have a different phone for your. And you have 2 different phones, bro, which is dope.
It is until it's not.
Hey, Justin's important, y'all. I'm playing. But nah, bro, you got 2 different phones, bro. Like that in itself it is a separation of like this life and this life.
Right.
Like work life and real life, right?
Right.
But you got to remember to check this phone to talk to these people. And then it's like, oh, let me go get back to my real, that's a lot in itself, bro. Like just balancing that. Like, and there's so many people that I wouldn't say so many people that have 2 phones, but so many people that have 2 lives that they're trying to balance out. Like you said, for me, like kids and marriage.
Yeah.
Like that is separate from work. And some people merge them together and they have a real hard time like separating them.
I agree that some people have a hard time have a hard time balancing out, okay, this is my work life, this is my personal life, and sometimes they intertwine with each other. Yeah. But I also think no matter if people want to agree, I actually had a conversation about this the other day with someone I know, was everyone changes in any, they call it code switching. You're not going to be the same way you are with your wife like you are with me.
Facts, yeah.
You're a different Aaron. I get a different Aaron than your wife does.
Of course, yeah.
You know, when you go show up to basketball practice and you coach your kids and you talk to their parents, you're a different Aaron than what Justin or your wife or the church, whoever you involve. So like naturally we do change. Yeah. When we go into these different rooms, bro. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know how code switching became like a negative thing because you have to be able to.
And I don't think so. For me specifically, like I change who I am around my wife when it comes to vulnerability, like opening up to my wife.
Right. You're gonna tell her things you probably wouldn't tell anyone else.
Anybody else. Right. I'm not saying that to a parent of a kid that I coach, or I'm not saying that. And sometimes I will say it to you, some things, right? But I'm not saying everything that I say to my wife that I, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not necessarily code switching like who I am. I'm changing my dialogue of openness towards a person. And there's different type of versions of us that have to show up at different times. Right. Like I can't go into work and not work because I don't feel like it. But if I'm home and I'm like, hey, babe, I don't feel like taking the trash out right now. But if you said that to your boss at work, it's like
I don't care about none of that.
She got going on.
Go take that trash out.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, go take the trash out.
That's so I think like people are dubbing code switching as like you not being one person and like you being double-minded. But it's from like a Christian worldview, I don't see code switching as a bad thing. It just has to, the ideas about it have to change. Like I've never heard that word before.
You never heard code switching?
I've never heard that.
Really?
I've never heard it, but I already can tell like it's like a world word that has changed people's opinions of people. Like you code switching, bro. Like I can hear even a kid saying that. Like you basically like you switching up. Yeah. You wouldn't act like that when you like.
Yeah. Nah, bro. I think it's important to. I think that's a very high level skill that a lot of people aren't able to do.
It's a skill. You need that
to be able to be a chameleon in any environment that you're in. Like something that I truly believe in is you could put me in a room full of thugs. And I'll fit in. You could put me in a room full of CEOs. And I'm going to fit in. Yeah. You know, that is a skill.
That's a skill.
Because there's so many people who can walk into these rooms and feel uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. I feel uncomfortable in these rooms sometimes.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like when I'm in these rooms, I have to be able to adapt to these people. They're not going to adapt to me. You know?
Yeah, bro, that's good. Because you said being a chameleon. I used to get made fun of for it. Like in high school, I would be hanging out with my boys. And I'll be talking a certain way. Yeah. Like how we talking right now. Yeah. And I would.
Probably a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably a little.
Probably not like exactly how we're talking right now.
You know, I'm talking like I'm talking to them. And, you know, using slang, all kind of stuff. Yeah. And then whenever I'm around a different crowd of people, I'll change up my speech. Right. And I never thought it was a negative thing. That I thought that was a superpower. Like, bro, what do you mean? Like, why are you making fun of me for being able to articulate myself around adults that I respect? And not that I don't respect you, but I feel like I can be more down to earth with you. Like, I used to get made fun of for that, bro.
It was because those people didn't know how to do what you were doing.
Call me Uncle Tom.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different. I mean, I've been in situations where people have told me that, you know, I hate to mention, like, people say when you act black or you act white. Like, what does that even mean?
What does that even mean?
Like, Justin, you talk white. I'm like,
what you talking about?
What?
Yeah. No, but you're right though. I think it comes from projection. Yeah. Of like, not that terms of I would never do that. Basically saying like I don't know how to do that, or it makes me uncomfortable because it makes me I identify a white person speaking this way. And a black person speaking this way. So when I see a black person speaking this way, he not really for me and us and this. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's like having like, that's powerful, bro. To be able to not change who you are, but change your verbiage to communicate to other. It's almost like speaking a different language. Yeah. It's like going to China and speaking Chinese. I can do that. I actually can't do that, but I can change I can change my verbiage based on what crowd I'm speaking to, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm not gonna go to work and be like type. or facts.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah.
Like we like
no Diddy. Like,
yeah.
hey, no, facts. Those, but speaking of, like, I want to like talk about just current events today in the world. I know that was a huge.
There's a lot
shift,
going on in currently.
like currently.
So where you even want to start?
Like current events in the world, bro. I said no Diddy. I want to talk about that, bro. There was a clip that recently came out. I'm pretty sure you saw it of him like chasing down whatever. But just the whole entirety of the situation. What do you like think about it?
I mean, obviously, domestic violence is definitely something that I do not support.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised by any of this stuff. People have been saying Diddy is who he is.
Mm.
And honestly, I feel like a lot of people in those high places of power.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has skeletons in their closet, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of those people definitely are involved in things.
Yeah.
That you may or may not know about.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and not to like scare any viewers or anything, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
And in me and you's eyes, like there's people that are sacrificing things and people, and there's rituals and all kind of stuff that is going on in this world that people are so blind to.
And we also don't know everything.
Yeah. There's no way to.
We don't know everything. We only know what people want us to know. I'm not saying that Diddy is a victim of anything, but we also don't know the full context of anything, right? So I'm not going to sit here and be like, screw Diddy, he's this and this and this, because I don't even know, not justifying domestic
anything
violence that he had going on.
Yeah.
But, him and Cassie were together for a very long time.
Yeah.
And we go to sacrifices and stuff like that. We don't know what agreements. Look, the government about to come for us, bro.
Like they would be knocking on our door. We were talking about y'all conspiracies.
We was talking too much.
Look, facts.
But we don't know what the agreement was for her.
Yeah.
Because
y'all were together for a while,
for a minute,
and all these things that they're accusing him of were happening while you were together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some are accusations, some have been proven facts. But so like who's to say that she didn't have an agreement with these things?
Yeah.
Again, not saying,
not condoning.
Let me
he
say
did.
that again.
Like,
I'm not saying that it's okay and that everything is fine. I'm just saying I try to keep an open mind when situations take place.
Yeah,
but
bro.
I mean, it's definitely crazy. I mean, it's definitely a downfall. I mean, we see what's happening with Diddy, stuff with Drake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what you think about that?
Man, that rap battle, man. I got online and I saw something on Instagram where they had Stevie Wonder. Bro, this is funny, bro. Stevie Wonder was talking about the matter, and he said that the world is blind. I don't know why this is making me.
What?
He said the world is blind to what's actually going on. They're creating this to mask like things that are actually going on, like this rap beef, this Diddy stuff. Like there's things that are actually happening in the world, and I seen a comment that said blind. Like you be the last, last one to talk. That's why I'm laughing. It's just so funny to me. But like I do a really good job of not listening to secular things.
Yeah.
But it drew my attention. It did. I'm not gonna lie. It drew.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Like you get on Instagram, there's no way you're not hearing they not like us.
Right.
They not like us.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
TikTok, Instagram, yeah.
Even like, and I'm gonna ask a question in a minute, but even like, people that we respectively know in this Christian worldview world that you consider somebody to be a man of God, like they're posting these songs. Like I see the songs everywhere, so I listen to it. Right, I've given every song one play.
Yeah,
Kendrick killed him.
Yeah, Kendrick won. Kendrick definitely won that battle.
But it was, I think we're seeing the downfall of certain celebrities because of the agreements that they've had, and
to get to where they are.
And
we have to remember that these celebrities are not real people.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy is not a real person. Drake is not a real person. Sean Combs is a real person.
Yeah.
Aubrey Graham is a real person.
Yeah.
These are characters.
Yeah.
They're literal characters.
Yeah. I was like, where's he going with that? But
yeah. No.
Yeah. It's like,
no, but they're like literally characters, bro. The path that they have chosen to go on, it sells.
Yep.
And it's not just them. there's a group of people around them.
Yeah.
Look, talking too much,
Yeah.
saying too much.
Yeah.
But there's a group of people around them that are giving them ideas, telling them how to dress, telling them how to talk, telling them which cultures they should be a part of and which songs they should hop on, and how when they go to this city talk like this, when you go to that city talk about that. Like they have teams of people.
Yeah,
bro.
no, they do.
They're not. These aren't real people.
Yeah, they're acting out a whole movie for America. Like, why is it that America is the only country that has so many celebrities? Like, why is it only here?
Yeah.
Why is it that and it's just like Hollywood, and it's starting to just not be Hollywood in Hollywood. It's almost like across America now, where people are popping up out of nowhere and becoming famous, bro, and doing
out of nowhere. Like that Bobby Altoff girl, you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, bro.
That does the podcast.
Yes, yeah.
Where did she come from, man? How was episode 2 already with Drake?
like
out of nowhere.
Like out of nowhere. These people are just popping up out of nowhere. And I know that you can't get there without doing certain things. And people call them the elites.
Yeah.
And, people say the Illuminati and things of this nature. And growing up, people would say that stuff and be like, bro, you're weird for even thinking of something like that.
Right.
But there's real stuff happening out in this world. Like, I remember my first real recollection to opening up my eyes to things that were going on in the world, bro, was the Travis Scott event, the concert.
Oh yeah.
And I went down a rabbit hole.
You think that's a sacrifice, bro? He was sacrificing people to get to the next level.
I'm not even.
Oh man.
I'm gonna sound crazy. I'm sound crazy.
Oh man.
It was very eye opening when I went down that rabbit hole of looking up information.
Yeah.
And not information that was made up. It was things that people were actually saying on mics. Like celebrities saying these things in public. And I'm like, all right, something's going on in this world that we don't, like you said, we don't know everything.
Right.
We have no idea, bro, about all of that stuff.
While we're on this topic, you mentioned that you don't really listen to secular music.
Yeah.
Both of us are Christian men. I'm not going to lie and say I don't listen to secular music.
Yeah.
I will say I listen to a lot less than I did before.
Yeah.
But I still do, play a couple tunes here and there. I stay up to date with music.
Yeah.
I love music, bro.
Yeah.
I was in choir in high school.
Yeah.
On top of all types of stuff. Music has always been a thing I love. So I have found a way to sometimes I'm not playing NBA Youngboy. Mm-hmm. I'm not playing anything like hardcore gangsta.
Yeah.
But Gunna.
Yeah.
Drake.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. These lyricists.
Yeah.
I enjoy hearing storytelling and, tones and melodies, all that to say, I hear a lot of Christians that do say, I don't listen to secular music at all.
Mm-hmm.
I also know a lot of Christians who still do listen to the latest music that is secular.
Yep.
Do you think that you can still claim to be a Christian man and still listen to secular music, or a Christian individual in general and still listen to secular music? Or do you think in order to be a full-on genuine, full-on true Christian, you have to only listen to Christian music?
That comes with those are two great questions. I have so many thoughts.
Yeah.
Let me just get them together.
Just popped up in my head.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because I remember when I was the Christian who actually had a real struggle with not listening to Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Future, Thug. I would listen to all these artists, and then it got to a point to where I started, my eyes were open, and I started to see, really in a way, even the word says that we should hate what God hates. And obviously I'm not sitting here judging you or anybody else, because I was that Christian that would listen, because I had a heart for God.
Right.
I know you have a heart for God. I know people who listen to secular music aren't well, forget God.
Yeah.
Play, but the enemy is very slick. I remember it was a couple episodes back, you said something about playing that young boy, and why is my heart rate up?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like going to lust again? If you listen to what these people are saying in these songs, if you actually listen to what they're saying, it's more so about that than anything.
Right.
because the melodies and the beats and things like that, those things, they open up, like, I don't even know how to say it, like portals, I guess you could say, for spirits and things of those natures. But that's besides the topic. What they're saying is what's important to me. What actually comes out of their mouth is what's important to me, because there's a topic of like, well, there's Christian artists who hop on secular tracks. And
or
like,
there's Christian artists who have secular artists feature on their Christian tracks.
Christian track.
Yeah.
Right? That's
where it gets confusing, right?
That's where it gets confusing, because it's like, we're supposed to love them. And we are. I'm supposed to love you, even though you said, like, I do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not like too proud of it, but I do it every now. I just like music, bro.
Yeah.
It's not for me to place that conviction on you.
Right.
As Christians, we are not supposed to look at somebody else and be like, yo, you listening to what? Bro, you gotta cut that out. And that's not my job. My job is to tell you that, I just don't do that, but I'm not judging you for that, bro. Like, because if I try to place a conviction on you, then you'll run away.
I'm going to play the other side for a second, because I know that there's people watching this that may disagree with what you're saying. And I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but I want to kind of hear what you would say if someone else said something. So there might be someone, we talked about the topic of Christian artists who I don't think it was Scooty Wop. It was, I don't remember, but there was a Christian artist who had Lil Yachty on one of his songs. And this is Lecrae. Lecrae has a lot of songs and a lot of connections with people who work in the secular industry.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And does that discredit them? Does that, we say to stay away from secular music, but there's also Christian artists who are inspired by secular artists.
Yeah.
And you may or may not have the answer to that.
No,
I'm just curious.
I'm just going to tell you what I believe in.
Yeah.
Like currently. I know what artists you're talking about. Like there's even songs that Kirk Franklin made a song with Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Emmanuel the Prophet made a song with Lil Yachty.
That's who I was thinking about.
And Rich the Kid.
Yeah.
Lecrae made a song with Ty Dolla $ign.
Right.
Like these songs.
Whole album with Metro Boomin.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not the Christian that's going to be like, you what?
Yeah.
You're exit off my playlist. What are they saying?
Right.
What are they saying? Like I will sit there and listen, and if you said something, you in there cursing, doing all, talking about this and that, get out of here.
Yeah.
If you're in here talking about how the Lord has done something for you and how He's our Savior and Jesus is King, I can rock with that.
Yeah.
But I can't rock with nothing else, because then it starts to subconsciously put those thoughts into my mind. That's what I believe on the stance of that.
Do you think...
What do you believe like with that?
I think personally that art is art, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might paint a picture and you may believe that me and you might look at the same picture, actually. And I'm going to look at that painting and I'm going to say, I see a sailboat floating in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
You may look at it and say, I see a whale swimming and swallowing fish.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that we can't coexist on something because we both believe it's a painting?
Yeah.
We both can agree that this is a painting we're looking at.
Yes.
But we're both receiving it differently.
Yeah.
Right? So going back to music,
mm-hmm.
Lecrae represents Jesus. He represents Christianity, and that's what he represents.
Yes.
Does that mean because his art, these are all artists at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because his art represents one thing means he can't make art with someone else who doesn't represent another thing. And that, for me, I think art is art, and I think people can coexist. They don't necessarily have to, like we talked about in the last episode, like I personally feel like Christians can coexist with people who aren't necessarily Christians. Mm-hmm. It's how do you represent yourself? Like you said, what are they saying on these songs?
Yeah.
If you're on a track with Lil Baby and you're talking about being saved, how you were in the streets in Atlanta or wherever you're from, and you were selling drugs, and God saved me. Yeah. And then Lil Baby's part comes on, and he tells his truth and his story. Mm-hmm. I personally don't see a problem with that, personally, just because you're still standing firm in who you are. Now, if Lecrae got on a track with Lil Baby and he was like, shot up this person, he hooked up with that girl, did this, then it's like...
That's crazy, yeah.
Like, all right, you're not really standing on what you're standing on. So I say all that to say, like, I think Christian artists can make art with other artists as long as they're still staying true to who they are.
Who they are, yeah.
That's what I believe.
No, yeah. Staying true to who you are is very, very important. What are they saying? And I say this because I'm just going to make a point with this, right? The word talks about there's light and dark. It never says anything about gray area.
Yeah.
It never has.
You're one or the other.
There was this or that. It's white or black. It's never gray. And the word never talks about the middle.
Right.
You're either on this side or you're not, right? Yeah. And for these artists to hop on these songs, if they do get on these songs and the artist does allow this person to speak their truth in a way of where they are cursing, that says something about the artist. Because this is, if you ever notice, it's not Lil Baby featuring Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
It's never Ty Dolla $ign featuring Lecrae. Like, no, you're hopping on these Christian artists. So
and they're talking about God,
and they're talking about God. So when you hop on my stuff, hey man, this is the agreement. I love you as an artist. I'm gonna pay you whatever your price is. Yeah. But when you get on this track, we're representing the light. It's not dark. So I listen to what they're saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but I also think too that how worthy is it to hear Lecrae talk? I mean, not Lecrae, Lil Yachty talk about God on this one song with this one Christian artist, the only song that is considered Christian in his whole catalog.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, who's this Lil Yachty guy?
Look him up.
Look him up, and you listen to him. He's
And
you're like, wait,
hold on. Yeah, it ruins his witness.
It ruins his witness, but then you're gonna look at the Christian artist too
and be like, why would you do so? That is such a
that could be an episode by itself, bro.
An explosion of conversation, bro. And honestly, whenever we, I don't know, take a clip aside if you want to, but when we post this stuff, like, we can ask questions to the world, like, what do y'all think about this?
Yeah.
Just to like spur on the conversation, because there's so many different viewpoints of it. It's almost like, can Lil Yachty not be used to glorify God? Are you saying that Ty Dolla $ign can't glorify God?
Or I was going to mention it to you too, artists like Friday. Are you familiar with Friday?
Yeah.
He talks about God in his music.
He does.
But he also talks about
a lot of stuff.
A lot of other things too.
Yeah.
Does that take away his witness?
It diminishes it.
Yeah.
Right? So like, if you, Bible perspective speaking, like, fool, if you want to listen to a fool, if you want to be a fool, you listen to a fool.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't think, and this is just my personal opinion, the world comes into agreement with things that are gray because they don't want to pick a side. Like
play both sides.
So you can be I'm gonna listen to
I agree with that.
Friday when he talking about God and the other stuff, because he being real with me.
Yeah. He
really speaking the truth. And it's like, or is he confused on which side that he's a part of? Yeah, he hasn't sold his soul, but has he? I don't know.
Right.
And yeah, you haven't done a lot of crazy bad sins, but you do a little bit.
Right.
So you come into agreement with the artist that talks about the gray area instead of the artist that talks about light. Or you don't listen to Lil Uzi. You know Lil Uzi, what he about.
Yeah, nah.
You know what he on.
Definitely not Lil Uzi guy.
Right? Yeah. But you also know what, these Christian artists are about too. But you find all these artists in the middle, because is that where you are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, yeah, I that's a good statement.
That's just for me freely thinking about it.
No, that's a good statement. It's just like with Friday. I like Friday's music.
Yeah.
I really do.
I love the melody that he has. Yeah.
And he has some songs. He has a song with Maverick City. And it's like a pure gospel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a song with Maverick City. And it's just a pure gospel song.
Yeah.
I appreciate Friday because he's witnessing, but he's being real too.
Yeah.
Because here's this individual who comes from, being poor. Who comes from violence, who comes from the streets.
Yeah.
So it's easy for someone who didn't come from that, and I'm not talking about you specifically, just in general. It's easy for someone who doesn't come from those things to be like, to judge him and be like, he's not really a witness of God. But we don't know his progress. this could have been a man that murdered somebody before.
Yeah, bro.
This could have been a man that's done some things that he may never tell the world.
Yeah.
And he's just telling his truth.
Yeah.
Like, I found God, but I'm still dealing with these things.
I still got some stuff, but hey, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
And that's why I like Friday.
Yeah.
Because he's not acting like, I found God, everything's perfect.
Yeah.
He's talking about, I found God, but I also got a woman pregnant outside of wedlock.
Yeah.
Or I found God, but I got drunk last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real.
But it is real.
Yeah.
Like some people, I'm not gonna say need to hear that, but some people, like we like to hear those things because it shows the process. It talks about the process. Now, I think Friday is a person that is, I can just imagine in my mind, and I speak this over you now, Friday.
If you're watching.
Look, that as he grows as a Christian man, that he's going to get to a point to where he's going to look back and be like, man, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, but that's growth, right?
But that's growth. So I can agree where you're coming from.
Right.
I understand it because I envision all of these artists to get to, whatever, and have that growth to where they're like, man, I was tripping. Like the Lord was really with me the whole time. Even in the time where I got on the track and I was like singing about this stuff, and then I got on this track and was tripping.
Yeah.
Like he was still with me. And that's the God that we serve.
Right.
Loves us. Just loves us, bro.
If you enjoyed Aaron and I talking about, having real conversations, everything like that, leave a comment below. This is something that we wanted to test out and see, kind of just go freely, let God work through us.
Yeah.
That ends season 1. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, bro.
I'm looking forward.
There,
I'm looking. we'll get it together.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to season 2. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and let y'all know what y'all think.
Peace.
Till next time.
Flows, the only thing I control. And righting these wrongs, the only way to expose the innermost parts of my being infinitely composed. Rearranging this harmony that resides in your soul. Vibrations is volatile and needed some solitude. She say she was solid without me, thought we was rockin' smooth. Hit me like latitude, feel like Rocky with Shawty up on my side. No artist ringing his doubt as I'm shadow boxing with pride. I feel loving again, cause I gotta feel you. They say that only time that God can heal you. Pray that spirit fill you and help you trust again. Instead, I'm slipping, falling in lust again. It's never ending. So tell me, will I ever be satisfied? Will I ever be whole? These missing pieces, I break them down to be quantified. To compare to a version of me that's old, I don't know. Yeah. Look, say honestly, I don't know. Guess what? I'm back in the building. It needed some healing. I'm lost, I admit it amazed me. Ain't no peace when your vision is hazy. Look, I talked to God, told him flip it 180. The acrobatics that I witnessed was simply amazing. Cause my effort's been lazy. I've been lacking esteem. Cause reality don't look like what I saw in that dream. Or what was prophesied, and the courage it took to believe. But I start to encourage myself. These blessings been itemized. You are nothing to idolize. Death all around me, but I will fear no evil. I live backwards to heal my people and break the mold. It's crazy how impressions from life can leave you disclosed. And I'm open as ever flies. Propellers, John Cena, that Helen Keller still can't see me, feel me, or walk a mile in my shoes. No blueprint, but I'm Sherlock in the clues. I can paint a vivid picture while bird boxing with heels and give them hooks so cold they'll dread like in the door word. Look, I can paint a vivid picture while bird boxing with heels and give them hooks so cold they'll dread like in the Father, take these impressions from me. I'm not impressed by the word, I'm learning these lessons slowly. But you've been pressing on me, removing this mess that's on me. You turn my mess to a message and now these blessings flowing. Don't take your presence from me, Lord, take these impressions from me. I'm not impressed by the word, I'm learning these lessons slowly. But you've been pressing on me, removing this mess that's on me. You turn my mess to a message and now these blessings flowing. Don't take your presence from me, from me, from me, from me. Don't take your presence from me, from me, from me, from me. Yeah. Don't take your presence from me, from me, from me, from me. Don't take your presence from me, yeah. Don't take your presence, I'm fighting depression. In my election, I'm struggling to find out the reason you chose me. Why I can't do what they doing, talk like they talking, walk like they walking, but somehow I'm still here like you was me. Why I feel bound by the truth and being aware, and why I feel free in my sin that leaves me impaired. I need my mind changed. I made decisions that left a mark on my mind frame, and now I'm trying to erase the damage. It's getting so hard to manage, I'm feeling reckless. Please turn my test to my testimony, mess to a message. Change my perspective, I need resurrection. Help me see me how you see me, made in your perfection. Cause you don't start a thing with no intention, don't perfect it. I took a step and you're more than every step in direction. I felt discouraged, but look back and saw the impressions. You masterpiece on this masterpiece. I took a look at the canvas and saw your fingerprints in the impressions. Father, take these impressions from me. I'm not impressed by the word, I'm learning these lessons slowly. But you've been pressing on me, removing this mess that's on me. You turn my mess to a message and now these blessings flowing. Don't take your presence from me, Lord, take these impressions from me. I'm not impressed by the word, I'm learning these lessons slowly. But you've been pressing on me, removing this mess that's on me. You turn my mess to a message and now these blessings flowing. Don't take your presence from me, from me, from me, from me. Don't take your presence from me, from me, from me, from me. Yeah. Don't take your presence from me, from me, from me, from me. Don't take your presence from me, yeah.